Sweet. Well, this has been a while coming. So I don't know if I've been this excited about a podcast in a while. And I know I've had this in my head for a while. Jared and I have been talking about it for a while. Kolby's come on board a couple, months ago? Has it been that long? And it's finally starting to come into fruition. So this is probably the first podcast of many as it evolves and gets bigger and the prizes get more elaborate. But this is the announcement of the partnership between Bear Hunter Magazine, Huntleague, and myself, and I could not be more fired up. And so I want to pass off the mic so we can get some introductions here. So, Jared, why don't you take the first intro, give us a elevator sales pitch of who you are, what you got going on.
Absolutely. This is Jared Newman, founder of the Huntleague mobile app. It's an app that you could go out and it logs. It's basically a modern hunting journal where logs everything you can experience in the field, and it gives you a way to share that with buddies, with the community inside a league. It just has some features that really, honestly, nothing else out there has for hunters. And it's a super exciting way to kind of build community and connect. This past year, we launched our leagues feature. The name of the app has been Huntleague. We've been kind of beta testing the last couple of years, but we're really starting to roll it out. And this would be, just as you were saying, Garrett, you've been waiting to kind of make this announcement. This is like the most exciting announcement I feel like we've ever been able to make as Huntleague, because we're really ready to roll this out. We've got great momentum, great partnerships, and we're doing something complete. I'm not going to spoil the surprise because I'm going to let that roll out of your mouth first.
Sweet.
But we're doing something completely unique with this league that'll be a first for Huntleague, and I am beyond excited to make the announcement that we got coming.
Yeah. Well, and we got Kolby over here from Bear Hunter Magazine. We invited him here for his turkey hunting skills. And no, so yeah, I'm sure people can put. I'm sure people could put two and two together on why we're partnering up with Bear Hunter Magazine here. And
why?
Maybe we can go fishing when you come over here or something. But give people a quick rundown, Kolby, of what you got going on, who you are, and then we'll start diving into this.
Yeah, I'm Kolby Moorhead from Bear Hunting Magazine. And I know it's very confusing what we do, but we talk about bear hunting, and we're a magazine. Let's just break it down.
And your website is bearhunting.com.
My world is shattered.
Bear-hunting.com. We talk about bears, beats, and Battlestar Galactica. We're a little nerdy, and we like to look at stumps on the side of hills.
Yeah.
No, but we're the only bear hunting magazine in the world. We're a big fish in a small pond. No, but we just talk about in stories, people's adventures, tactics, what to do after the fact with recipes and DIY stuff, all matter of things regarding bear grease. Just hounds. All the types of hunting. We got spot and stock, hound hunting, and baiting, and some trapping. But we just talk about all things bear hunting, and primarily inside of North America.
Well, and you said North America, so like Alberta, all sorts of all over North America. Yeah, so not just the States.
And every once in a while, maybe like a brown bear hunt from Russia. Not right now, but but we're not going to get political here.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that you coming to the table and partnering up with this thing was got me really excited, because that just, I don't know if that not that it already wasn't a legitimate thing, but having kind of just the notoriety of Bear Hunter Magazine for me is like, man, like Bear Hunter Magazine's getting involved. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. We are the bear guys.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I guess let's just go ahead and dive into this. So, I don't know, for about a year, Jared and I started talking 2 months before August of last year. Cause that's when
I think it was late June, early July when we first connected.
Yeah. And I got the idea, let's start a content creator league. That kind of snowballed into me becoming one of the finalists on one of these other competition things through Huntleague. And started off about as skeptical as you can get, right? I was like, well, I'm not, because Jared, I didn't even give really Jared a chance. I'm like, first of all, Jared, if this is a big buck or big bull or a killing contest, I'm out. And I just started telling him all the things I didn't want it to be. And then he's like, well, okay. Well, here's what it is. Like all those skeptical things, are, I get it, but that's not what we do. And through using the app, I was able to realize that, you were right. I call it a hunting diary, which makes me think like Dear Diary. But so a hunting journal is probably more accurate. And it's just like an electronic hunting journal. It can be real time or it can be backdated or whatever. And with my memory and then getting asked about my hunts, I use the crap out of it. Just looking back like, well, when you interviewed me a while ago, like, well, how far was that shot? How many times? I know I shot at him 3 times, but how far was those shots? And was he quartered away on the second shot? Like I could recall all that information. I could read my own notes, and that helped me a lot. And so,
like, what time of day was it? Was it right at first light? Was it in the evening? Was it, some of those details that you just kind of lose over time.
Yeah. I don't even remember how many days I was in Idaho. My memory is so bad. Like I'm like, I think I shot that on the 6th day, or did we leave on the 6th day? Or, like I don't retain that stuff. And so having that for me is invaluable. And I just really used it. And so I was worried that it was going to take me out of the moment and the hunt, and I was going to be on my phone the whole freaking time, and I was going to lose opportunities in animals. And just through using the app, none of that was true. It was extremely easy. I'm on my phone currently all the time because of Onyx, and I'm constantly figuring out where I'm going or what I'm doing. And so there really wasn't hardly any habitual changes during the hunt. It was just literally start it. You could track yourself. And if you have the frame of mind at the time to record something on the journal, then you can do that. If you don't, you can do it when you get back to camp. Pretty much that easy. So after using it this year, where I'm going with that, after using it this year, I'm like, man, it'd be really cool to do kind of like a bear hunt giveaway. And I'm like, I got to find a vehicle or a way to do that. And you and I started becoming, God, we talk all the time now. And,
yep.
And, I was like, I wonder if we could start a competition on the Huntleague to do a bear hunt giveaway, because I've been really wanting to do that for a while, and you're like totally down, and so I don't know how you got a hold of Kolby or when you got a hold of Kolby, but Kolby was pretty much in the picture very, very soon after we started talking about that. And when did you get Kolby wrapped in here?
So the way that happened was me and my wife had been talking about a couple different things related to podcasts. My wife is an editor of a family kind of magazine, and then I was wanting to, and she was wanting to do some podcast stuff with that. And then I was thinking like, man, you know what? I need to get some podcast equipment. I had talked to a friend, Brian Strickland, who's a writer in Bear Hunting Magazine, and he recommended, hey, you should connect with Kolby Moorhead. I know he works on different podcasts, and I know he's done some podcasts with Clay Newcomb. And he said, why don't you reach out to him and just get some advice on, everything from equipment to how he does it, just process. So I had reached out to Kolby a couple of months ago, and we kind of sporadically touched base and never really got to the podcast equipment. Like Kolby was better at following up with me. I think we touched base actually right before the season started. And then I was basically like gone for a month. And then it would be like, I would text him and, it was back and forth. But when the bear hunting thing came up, I was like, oh my gosh, not only are you wanting to do this bear hunt, but I know somebody that runs Bear Hunting Magazine. And I bet this would be an incredible kind of partnership thing. Cause we are, going out on this bear hunt, and somebody's going to get to win this. And it'd be amazing to get to feature their story, tell their story. I don't know if this person's going to be an experienced bear hunter, a rookie bear hunter that's coming from, some part of the country where they've never seen a bear in their life. So all of those kind of things, like no matter who wins this is going to be just this epic adventure.
Yeah. My thing was like, I love bear hunting so much. And in my bio, it says sharing my passion for bow hunting and helping others along the way. And that really, I say this all the time. That's not just I honestly, truly put a lot of thought into that one sentence. I love sharing my passion. I love helping others, and I love bear hunting. And so it seems like a nice segue to be like, I want to share my passion for bear hunting. It's low pressure. I mean, you're driving around, you're having a good time. You can listen to music, you can eat, you can talk, you can walk here, or do whatever. It's just so low pressure. There's not a lot of hunting pressure. You're going to see some bears. And it just seems like it would be the ultimate way to get somebody introduced into bear hunting, or maybe somebody that struggled to get a bear, because I struggled for a few years. Like, when you start targeting bears, you're like, man, this is like, I see bears, but when I try to go see bears, I quit seeing bears, but I see them on accident. It's just like, it's just really weird. And then, I live in one of the best states in the whole nation for bear hunting, I believe, personally. I mean, we have close to 30,000 bears in Oregon, and that's a ton. And I live in one of probably the best parts of Oregon for bear hunting. So why not? And we have a predator issue anyways here. So if I can help promote Oregon as a great bear hunting state, bring somebody in here, shoot, they can come here and kill 2 bears. Honestly, I mean, you can buy an extra tag if you come here and you find success on the first day. And it's just like, why not be a part of the solution? And why not try and mentor or help somebody? And that's really where we're headed. And that's where Kolby's coming in here. He's going to come over. And Kolby, you're going to come down from, where do you live again?
The great state of Arkansas.
Bear hunting capital of the world.
Yeah. How often do you hear the word Arkansas?
Oh, I've only been here about 3 years. I'm from Texas.
I was hanging around where was I? In Florida one time, in Oregon was what people were calling Oregon. And I'm like, what in the hell are you, what? I was like, no. I didn't even know that was a thing until I heard people from Pennsylvania say Oregon. I was like, that's weird.
Oh, wow.
I'd never heard that before. But so we got Jared, who is basically got Huntleague. We're going to run the competition through him. Kolby, you're going to come over from Arkansas, and you're going to film, put it in print. What are you going to do?
Yeah. We're definitely going to be doing a story. Hopefully the person is a halfway decent writer and they can write it for themselves, or we'll find a way to put it in print in the magazine, have a good feature article. And there's something cool about that. I went on a bear hunt in Manitoba a few years back before I was working at the magazine. Happened to go up there with Clay. That was the plan. We drove together. And then I did the hunt, and he was like, hey, guess what? You're writing an article. So I wrote the article, and he thought it'd be funny to put me on the cover without without telling me. So I had some roommates at the time, and one of them checked the mail, and it's like, man, you made the cover. So it was funny, but there's just something special about having something laid out in print that's a story and of your hunt and this great memory. And a lot of people actually cut those pages out and they'll frame it and put it up on their wall just as a totem for something that was very special to them, that somebody took the time to record, to lay it out, to have like when we design an article, we are looking at not just the story, but we're trying to tell it visually as well. And so it's just one of those things that you can go into wherever you have it hanging, and it could just be a highlight inside of your day. Man, I did something. I remember that. That was an adventure. Yeah. And there's something that's even special about that more than video. You're not having to go look it up or look for it. It's just always there. And then we're gonna film it. It's gonna go across, I think, a couple of YouTube channels.
Yep.
We're gonna get all of that worked out. But yeah, it's really exciting. We have we're gonna have more and more different manufacturers come on board, and man, it's just gonna be great. Yeah. And I think the thing I'm most excited about is just hanging out and getting to know people. And there's something about driving down the road in a truck and looking for things that, it's just fun. And then, you have your stumps, the guy that thinks every stump moves. And it really just, there's a certain camaraderie that comes from, looking for bears where, what bear hunter has not said that's been, glassing or spot and stalk? Man, I should come up with a business where I just go out into the forest and just paint stumps orange. And then somebody else will turn to him and be like, Yeah, but then there'll be like an orange color phase bear, and then you just square one again.
Yeah, man, I can tell you there's a 10-second rule where unless it moves in 10 seconds, you don't even bother saying it. But every time, like I have to put in the memory bank, man, that's a good looking stump over there. Like, that is a good looking stump. That stump's not going to get me next time. And then it does. And it's like, crap, and there's a lot, it's just like wherever you go, everything turns into a bear, when you have a hammer, everything's a nail. And
and then you find out that there's different color phases of bears, and you're like, I don't even know what to look like anymore.
Right. Exactly. I watched I'm like, those things are like, obviously, it's black. It's the only black thing in the unit, but it's too big to be a bear. So I'm going to come back every minute and just look at it. And I came back, and I had one of those big, giant objects. I'm like, it just doesn't belong there. But it's probably just a big tarp on a burn pile or something. And I came back, and it was still there. I did the 10-second rule kind of thing, and I came back. The third time I come back to it, it's like 100 yards that way. I'm like, holy crap. That is a freaking giant Volkswagen
tank.
Walking in the unit. Yeah, and it was on an area I couldn't even hunt, but it was like, my gosh, like it was probably one of the biggest bears I'd seen last year. But you have the opportunity, the average bear, just so folks know what you're getting into, the average bear around here is 125 to 180 pounds. That's an average bear. If you shoot a 150-pound bear, that is right there in what you can expect to shoot. Having said that, my cousin Bubba, that's really what he goes by. Nice. He's a South County guy, but he shot probably it was well north of 300 chocolate with a white chest patch.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. And he was
making a living.
Dude, the guy, I'm like, you just shot the unicorn of unicorns, dude.
Yeah.
You just shot a unicorn that doesn't, I didn't even know that kind of bear existed around here. And it was well north of 300. And it's just, I'm like, so we were all trying to get him to full body mount it because you're never going to kill a bear like that again. But those bears do exist over here, and we see a handful of 300-pound bears a year, and if you kill a 200-pound bear, you did better than average. And so you're just going to probably see a couple bears, hopefully a couple bears a day, and you shoot the first one that gets you excited. It's a great opportunity, but the trophy potential is not super high, but you're going to see some bears. So
yeah, and that's one of the benefits of going with someone local. Like regionally, bears change. Like you're not going to kill a tank all the time in Idaho.
Yeah.
Like there's just different regions to where it's the same thing as with a whitetail. You go to different states, and that some states 140-inch class deer, those guys don't even look twice at them. But if I see a 140-inch class deer down here, I'm going to hunt him all season.
Yeah, dude, you see a 140-inch deer here, you better shoot that thing, because that's Boone, like easily Boone. A Boone and Crockett buck around here is 125.
Yeah.
So that makes book.
Here's what gets me excited. We're announcing the league right now. Anybody that comes into the Hunt League app and joins the league, they can follow your season. So they can see. So we're talking about the winner of this league is going to receive the bear hunt in the fall of 2023.
Yes.
So we're not talking about a bear hunt that's going to be this year. We're talking about everybody is going to join the league. The league officially starts April 1st. So it will include any spring bear. It'll include, for most of the country, your spring turkey. It can include, now that's another point that I think everybody's going to want to know, like what species, what methods of take, all of that stuff. But before we jump into like the details of the league itself, I think what's really cool to highlight is anybody that wants to join the league, they can get a good picture of what to expect by following you this season. Because last year you missed the spring bear season, like it wasn't included, like you didn't have the app downloaded. We didn't know each other at this time last year.
I downloaded it in probably July.
Yeah. And then we set the league, the Content Creator League, to start August 1st, which is the day you killed your bear, opening morning. Like
it's by design.
we didn't have like multiple days to look at and go like, what do these bears look like? Or you kind of like, this is Garrett's bear that he shot that day. And so I think what we'll get to see this year is anybody that joins the league will have the ability to kind of look at your hunt logs to kind of build an expectation. So, I mean, I think if you want to share some of the stories, share some of the landscape, share some of the pictures, like I think that'll give everybody in the league that's competing for this opportunity an opportunity to go like, all right, this is what I should expect or could expect if I were to win this league and participate on that hunt.
Yeah. Well, you bring up a good point. And, you guys are coming over this year. I think, Kolby, you're jumping into this year.
Man, I'm going to see what I can do to make it happen.
Whatever I need to do to help you make that happen, let me know. But
I'm bringing my son though. I'm going to go on this hunt that the winner is going to get in 2023.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm doing it in 2022 with my son, and I'm going to get to experience it firsthand. My plan is to take pictures, to film it, to kind of share that experience. We can share that experience with Bear Hunting Magazine. We can share that experience, across podcasts, YouTube, stuff like that, and within the app so that people really get an idea. This is what that experience is going to look like next year if I win it. So I'm hoping, like, I personally cannot wait for every part of this, like as we make the announcement all the way to when we do the hunt in the fall, to watch your season this spring, to seeing some of the different articles that come out in Bear Hunting Magazine leading up to the winter, and then going on this hunt. The hunt itself, like, because I know we mentioned it's you, Garrett, like the winner is going on a hunt with you, Garrett Weaver. The league is called the On Point Experience, and they're going to get that experience of a lifetime going on a bear hunt with you.
Yeah.
But it also, like, the plan is for Kolby, myself, and we haven't announced this, but we do have a sponsorship with Vortex Optics. Mm-hmm. And the plan would be to have somebody from the Vortex team out with us on the experience that the winner gets. And again, that's going to be a filmed bear hunt in Oregon, fall of 2023.
Yeah. Depending on how Kolby wants to do it, I think he's going to upload it on the Bear Hunter Magazine YouTube channel if he's the one filming it.
That's the plan.
And then I can download it on mine. Kolby's channel's, close to 10 times bigger than mine. I think he's like over 70,000 subs. Mine's just almost 9. So, I mean, thousands of people are going to see it. Thousands of people subscribe to the magazine. So if you're looking to share your story, it's going to get shared. It's going to get viewed. And I think that's pretty darn cool. And then being able to, putting up with my ass for 5 days is a tall order. So if people can stand to be around me for that long, we can go drive around in the truck.
I feel like I need to interject here and say that I'm a pleasure to be around. And so if you want to trade up to Kolby from Garrett, I'm kidding.
Well,
we'll have fun. Okay. We're going to have a blast.
Well, I remember I told Kolby, like, man, I've only got like 2 extra rooms here, and you're like, I'm fine sleeping on the floor. I don't care. This guy's down to party, but I mean, it's not going to be. It's going to be completely about the winner. So if the winner wants to sleep out in the woods and hang out in the woods, I've got a wall tent. We can go set it up. We can have the winner sleep out in the woods under the stars, or they can hang out in my house, and we can leave from my house every day. It's really whatever the winner wants. My goal is just to make sure the winner has the best time possible and gets an opportunity at a bear or two. I mean, that's really what it is. So if you literally killed a bear day one and you wanted to see what the cool shit we have around here, we could go fish one of the most pristine, well-known streams in Oregon, the North Umpqua, which I think is very well known for trout.
Wait, we can fly fish?
We can fly fish up the North Umpqua.
Oh, man.
You can go up to Crater Lake, which is one of the wonders of the world, I think. I don't know. We got a lot of cool stuff around here. And so it's, it can turn into whatever you want it to be. Hopefully you kill a bear and then we can go do some cool other stuff, or kill another bear.
Yeah.
I think that we just need to let the cat out of the bag. I mean, Garrett is going to cook for you if you kill a bear.
Hey, I am totally down for that.
You got a game plan for cooking?
Tell them what's on the menu, man.
Yeah, hey, carne asada tacos. That's what it is. That's what's up. I get very excited about that.
There's no reason to expound upon it. Let's move on.
Oh, man. And it's going to be fun. I mean, we're going to have a few guys here, and it's going to be whatever the winner wants, man. I mean, that's really the goal, but I think we should probably get into the specifics on how to win, Jared. Do you think we should get into that a little bit?
Yeah, because I think that's obviously a place where people can get confused, because we have a leaderboard built into the app, which is really based on as you log your experiences with every hunt, with every scout, with every sighting, with every sign, everything that you log, you have the ability to kind of earn points within the system. However, the idea of this league and all the leagues in Hunt League is like, yeah, the point system is flawed. It's broken. Like, there's not an accurate way in our estimation to do leagues. And because we're not really a trophy hunting app where it's just about the sheer size of an animal and that's what's going to win you the league. So we're about capturing the story. That's what the app is about. The leaderboard, simply, the more stories you tell, the higher you're going to be ranked, kind of a deal. So success is a part of the equation, but it's not the only part of the equation that matters. And as we look at how do we establish a winner, it is going to be kind of a multi-pronged, kind of multi-tiered approach, like where by far the number one way that you're going to position yourself to win would just be involvement in the community. Like you're sharing your stories, you're engaged, you're connecting with other people on the inside the league. There's a kind of a message thread. And so you're engaged, not just like that you're just sending people messages every day, because that kind of get annoying. But the idea would be, hey, you're actively involved in the league. You're sharing your story, because we want to be able to get to know other people's stories. This is not a bear hunting league. It's the on-point experience, like what you were saying just a minute ago, Garrett, that it's, the bear hunt is a big part of it, but there could be other elements to this, because it's all about creating that incredible experience. Well, with this league, we are including all species that are in the Hunt League app. So you could be an upland bird hunter and you have a chance at winning this bear hunt in Oregon with On Point and Bear Hunting Magazine. You can be, a predator hunter. You can be a deer hunter. You could be from a state where you've never seen a bear in your life. Yeah. And this could be your first ever experience to see a bear, or you could be a seasoned bear hunter. So we're opening the parameters where any method of take. So we're not knocking you if you're a crossbow hunter or a trad bow hunter or a rifle hunter. Like, every method of take is open. Every species is open. You can participate in this On Point Experience League. And so really what we're looking for, though, is just community involvement, engagement. We will have a couple filters as we go through where you want to finish in at least the top half of the leaderboard, meaning the reason why we want to do that is just we want to take somebody out in the woods that understands hunting a little bit. Like, it's not just, we want the person to really value the experience. So we want it to be a hunter that put in the work during the year. So being in the top half just means that you logged a handful of hunts. You don't have to be successful at all in your season. It's just you were in the field, you spent time in the field, and you shared your story with the community. So you need to finish in the top half of the leaderboard. After that, we'll have kind of a series of, we'll send out some applications to people and kind of narrow that down. And it will eventually end with a live judges panel. The league officially ends May 31st in 2023. And we'll be doing the finalists, the judges panel, all that stuff will happen early June. And the winner will then just have about a month and a half before they're on the hunt with us. Tentative dates right now are July 31st to August 4th of 2023. So, it's not just, I just want to make it clear, I guess, in the explanation, it's not about where you finish on the leaderboard. Obviously, like, I think the higher you finish, like, that's going to get people's attention and get people talking, but we're really just looking for somebody that, jumps right in with both feet into the community. And, the judges that are kind of going to be assigned to, I guess, making this final decision, it's going to be a human decision. Like, you're going to be a part of that process. And, it's not just something that is done on paper. And it also means it's not something where if you try to cheat your way to the top, you're just going to get it because you outscored somebody because you manipulated the point system.
If I see that you put in 50 hunts on the last day, you're out. Like, come on, man. So,
yeah. I think one of the things we've proved, we're just saying here, is everyone will love bear hunting, and you should really want this.
Yeah.
and And like, how much is it going to cost them for them to get there?
Yeah.
On this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like an all-inclusive trip. I mean, this is a pretty big deal. Like, obviously they're going to need to bring some of their own equipment and stuff, but we are going to provide a fair amount of equipment. Yeah. Please bring underwear. Don't come
positive attitude.
Yeah. Positive mental attitude. Yes.
That's probably the most important thing.
Beer.
But, like, we're going to cover the airfare. We're going to buy the tags. We're going to pay, like Garrett said earlier, like
permit.
We may crash at his house, or we may be in the tent. There's a permit involved in just where we're going to hunt. So there's a lot of those things, but all of those things are going to be covered. Plus, there's going to be some physical kind of prize pack items from a handful of companies that get involved with us along the way. And I would just say, when we launch this league, it's going to be live right away. This is just going to continue to grow throughout the year. So it's kind of like, hey, keep checking back, because the different companies that are going to be involved, prize packages, it's going to continue to evolve until we do the hunt next year.
And so what I never even thought about this just until now. So if it's the On Point Experience League, are they going to be able to compete along with me? So like, am I a part of the league? Am I Rabbit Ears competitor? Can they compare themselves to me in the league? Because
yes, they can.
Okay, that's kind of interesting.
You're the admin of the league, and like, I'm listed as a contributor, and Kolby's listed as a contributor. Anybody that signs up is going to be just listed as a member, but anybody that's a part of it, their username is going to be associated with the leaderboard. So
that's pretty cool.
Everybody's going to see, all right, how do I stack up against Garrett?
Yeah.
on my season.
Your ass better be out in the woods a lot, because mine is. And
well, there's a stipulation on you, Garrett, that we haven't told you yet.
Oh, I know. What is this?
You have to kill over a 400-pound bear this year in Oregon.
This is all weighing very heavily on whether I'm successful.
Yeah, wait a second.
Yeah, no.
And it's got to be a blonde color face. I mean, I don't write the rules.
A blonde with a black chest patch. There you go.
Yeah, with a black chest patch.
I think, Jared, you need to go over. I by design, but also for some other circumstances, this league is free, right?
Yeah.
You do not have to pay to be a part of this league. You have to pay to be a part of the app, though, correct? So would you mind telling people what that costs?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So the app is free to download. You get kind of one species. Like if somebody's just like, man, I'm a deer hunter, or I'm a waterfowl guy, and they just primarily hunt one species, that lists you, the app is designed to be kind of a private hunting journal at that point, like the free version of the app. If you want to jump into all that the community has to offer, where you want to add buddies in the app, you want to be able to share your hunts with buddies, you want to create a stand or area and share that with buddies so that everybody can see, like, all right, when was the last time somebody went into this stand or this area, or how do I compare this area compared to this area? All of those features, and that's joining leagues. It opens. So there's a league pass subscription. That's the only in-app purchase in the app. It's $14.99 a year. So it's not a monthly fee, and it's not like per league that you join. It's $14.99 a year, opens up all the features of the app and allows you to join leagues. So that's kind of the kicker on that. But honestly, like, the free version of the app lets you can see where you're at on the leaderboard. You can post on the community page. You can be actively involved. You would just be limited on what species you can post unless you buy the league pass.
Basically handicap your chances at winning, correct? Because if you can't log all the other animals that you're hunting, you're not going to be able to elaborate and show what you did that year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that you could arguably still finish in the top half, even as a single species hunter. Like when we talk about like top half of hunting, like if you're out there in the field and you logged several scouts, you logged several hunts, we had the guy Josiah from Wisconsin that he logged 70 deer hunts this past year and was unsuccessful. But when you log 70 deer hunts,
that is hardcore.
Like, yeah, when you log that many, you're going to be in the top half.
Yeah.
That dude, he put in the time. So
Well,
I think somebody that is a single species hunter will still score well on the leaderboard if they put in the time for that single species. If they go 1 week into the year, then their chances are probably diminished.
Very, very,
Well,
very much.
if they come out and they win this hunt, they need to make room for a new addiction because bear hunting is addictive.
I'm about to find that out firsthand, Kolby. This is my indoctrination to bear hunting this year. I'm going with one of your staff riders on my first real bear hunt. I had a bear tag for the first time last season in Colorado, but I'm going with one of your staff riders on a spring bear hunt in Montana this spring. And then this fall, I'm going to the great state of Oregon. Oregoni.
Oregano.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna get my bear hunting. I don't know. I'm gonna learn a whole lot this year. And I mean, just as I said, people are gonna get to follow your journey. Garrett, I mean, you're a seasoned bear hunter. Kolby, you're a seasoned bear hunter. As you guys log stuff this year, people can kind of see your experiences. Anything that somebody looks at, because I'll post my stories and I'll share my hunt logs with the community and with the league. It's like anybody that's looking at what we're doing, they'll get to see me as a first-time bear hunter, what my experience was like, compared to your guys' season. So I think that's going to be really fun just to kind of watch as everybody's seasons begin to unfold.
Well, I mean, my season could turn into the year of the bear too, because you can kill 3 bears in Oregon a year, and I got invited to go to Idaho for the spring bear too for bow. And so I could kill 4 bears this year just in Idaho and Oregon, which would be pretty freaking sweet. I mean,
that'd be a huge year.
I know. I love bears, so I mean, I could totally do that.
Several of the Oregon guys in the app drew bear tags this spring. I mean, Thomas Batzloff drew one.
He might come down and hunt with me this spring too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and show him some spots. So
that'd be pretty epic.
See if we can help him out, but.
I'm excited to get to see all those guys, all the Oregon hunters, because there's quite a few of them. I mean, I think we had 5 Oregon hunters sign up in the last 3 days.
I've been priming the pump. I said, what in the hell were you doing? My ass won the Western Hunter. That should have been you, because you got out in the woods 10 times more than I did, and I mean, and for not to downplay the Huntleague app by any means, but your odds of winning, because the app is still so ground level, is your ground floor is your odds are pretty damn good. I mean, realistically, it's not going to be like 1,000 people, or I mean, that'd be cool if it was 1,000 people, but I mean, realistically, I bet your odds are probably 1 in 100, maybe 1 in 200. I mean, if we got more than that, I'd be pretty surprised. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know, and if you actually use the app and engaged and did what Jared just discussed, your odds of getting in the top 25 are really good. I mean, really good. If you log probably 20 hunts and 50 scouts or 30 scouts, I bet you're top 10. I would not be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say easily. And the app is really designed. It's, we want to make it for the, the blue collar hunter, the guy that has a job and hunting isn't their profession. It's like, it's designed for those guys to be able to compete and win. Yeah. I mean, and we want to celebrate those stories every bit as much as we celebrate, I mean, we can all go on Instagram and you can see the professional hunters that are out there and they kill 30 deer a year. But it's like, I think what Huntleague brings to the table is something really unique, where somebody that doesn't have all that kind of time or doesn't have the ability to travel out of state or do all these exotic hunts. I mean, you can really be celebrated in our community. And I think even as we grow, we'll continue to fight to stick with our roots, and we'll just make our league smaller. Once we kind of scale up, it's like, instead of it just being the outdoorsman of the year and it's like everybody's included, we'll make a league that's just for Oregon, for hunters that live in the state of Oregon, hunters that live in the state of Arkansas, hunters that live in Colorado.
It's not really fair if the guy from Arkansas is competing against Oregon. I mean, come on.
Just wait until I get my squirrel dog.
Well, I don't know what else we can say other than your odds of winning are pretty damn good if you're out in the woods all the time and you use the app. It's an arbitrary winner, right? So me, Kolby, Jared, maybe somebody from Vortex or whoever may be judging this, and the activities you log and the engagement that you do on the app weighs very heavily, but that only gets you to the dance. The rest of it is really just a selection process, and it's very arbitrary. And so, there's a lot you can control to get you there, but in the end, winner, it's really going to be a choice. It's not going to be an algorithm. It's going to be, who do we want to take hunting out of all these people? Who do we think would be the best candidate, right? And so, for me, something that I'm looking for is I'm still looking for somebody that has a great heart about them, that is maybe went out and mentored or contributed to somebody else's success, somebody that's maybe struggled. I'm not necessarily looking for an absolute killer. I'm just looking for somebody that this is really going to be a special moment for them. I don't know what you guys are looking for. Kolby, is there anything that you're looking for in particular?
Well, we're not going to want to take any negative Nancy's on this. And if you can make me laugh, then that's a positive point in your direction. No, we want somebody that, that's going to value it. So, I think that's the best thing, is just somebody that has good character, and you can just tell that they have good character, that they love the outdoors. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things too, like we can sit here and decide like what we think we would look for, but sometimes when you're going through these decisions, you just see someone and what they've done, and you just have that gut thing that's like, this is a good person to take, and I don't know that I would have picked them beforehand, And so it's anybody's ball game. If you're like downing some other hunter or something like that, then for me, you're out.
If you're using a crossbow, then I don't know. I'm just kidding.
No, but I think that one of the things here is just, it's got to be someone that's kind of guarding the gate. That, that's one of the things we really stand on, is being a positive voice for hunting, not just one particular type of hunting, which if you're only doing one species, that's fine, but that supports others as well, because that's one of the great things about Hunt League, is the community aspect of it and the camaraderie. So, let's look for the camaraderie and people that are going to be a good representation of the sport, or not just sport, but the lifestyle.
Well, you actually said something very important that I haven't touched on yet, is the community. And I've actually made, Jared and I'd say that I talk to you more than I do my best friend. And
we've been talking quite a bit.
We've been talking a lot.
Is Jared your new best friend?
He might be my new bestie.
And Garrett
move over, Kevin and
a
Mitch.
Long history of friendship too. So
and so I think the community aspect. I've all four of the finalists. We all got to know each other. Grayson and I talk every once in a while. I think Josiah messages me every once in a while, and this is truly a very community-minded group, and everybody really was rooting for everybody. It is really something cool to see, and the heart of the Hunt League app is very strong. It's not product pushing. It's not none of this other bullshit. Let's make as much money as we can. It's very, very much so an organic app that it has a lot of heart to it, and that's something that, for me, I hope that shines through as you guys use the app, and that as you guys are engaging in the app. I hope that you guys are able to see it as I have seen it so far, which is why I chose Hunt League to be the vehicle to get this hunt done. So, Jared, is there anything that you're looking for the winter? Because I know you got to get going, pick up your kid.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if my wife left, because I think I may have saw the car leave. So I texted her and I was like, "Hey, did you leave? Are you getting the kids?" No, I really appreciate you selecting Hunt League and jumping in last year. It's been getting to watch the Outdoors in the Year process unfold. It was one of those things. Yeah, I know the app is still in its infancy, and we're still kind of experimenting with how to build leagues and create this. But one of the things that I've been really just intentional about is just I want to make sure that the core values of what we're about, which is that community. This was birthed out of a group of us elk hunters in Colorado that loved our experiences, and we wanted a better way to capture those experiences. We wanted a better way to share those with one another so that we could actually learn and help each other out. And to be able to preserve that. So year over year, we can still look back on it. And the other part of it, like I'm a competitor and I love the fun in competition without like taking it, over the top too serious. Like, and like, we would always poke around like, well, who's the better hunter? Or even the question that you lay in bed at night with is like, am I actually getting better at this or am I getting worse? And so part of it is like being able to look back at some of the hunt logs and kind of see your journey and see your progression, which is fun. But the way I'm looking at this is like, this isn't an Instagram giveaway. This isn't a raffle.
Right.
This isn't like, hey, if you put more money in, you have a better chance or better odds. It's just, hey, if you invest in this community and you log your hunts, you share your experiences, and you treat others with kindness and respect. I'm super excited. If this league, even just the vision of what you're doing here, I just hope this vision of what you're building is something that spreads to other people, because here you are. And it's just like this is something that you've thought about for a while. And now Huntleague created a vehicle and a mechanism for you to be able to create this league. Yeah. The same way that you just jumped in and created this league, we have other people that are starting to like catch wind of that. And like, now we have, church groups that are trying to create leagues, and like they're creating league for their own community. We've got, taxidermists and meat processing people creating league because like they want to build community with their customer base and with the hunters in their area, and they be able to share those stories. And, we want to see leagues with guides and outfitters, leagues with conservation groups, leagues with just individuals that like, and leagues can be public or private. So like, this is obviously going to be a public league open to everybody in the app. You can live anywhere in the country, but we're going to have leagues that are designated to be just inside your state or just inside, maybe it's invitation only. And that kind of stuff to me is what gets me really excited, because maybe this community isn't, you find that like, this was fun engaging with this community, but like, I've got something in my mind that I want to build. Like there's a community that I'm kind of wanting to build or seek or grow, and you get, if somebody's really diehard into traditional bow hunting and they want to just build a community that just connects with them, that's the stuff that I get really excited about. And so to me, I'm a guy that loves the idea of like, I use this motto a lot. It's in the opening kind of phrase of the podcast, but it's paving the way for others to follow. And this is one of those things where this is the first of many to follow. And I am just super excited about doing this league, because I think it paves the way for other people to be creative and create these kinds of experiences to help mentor new hunters. It'll help with hunter recruitment. It'll help expose people to a new type of hunting. Like for me, like it wasn't really until you and I started connecting that bear hunting was really even on my radar, like it just,
thank you.
Yeah. So, that's the fun part of this is like, it's going to bring people along in their journey as outdoorsmen and hunters. And I'm excited to get to watch that unfold for hundreds and, potentially thousands of people in the years to come.
So Kolby, you got me wondering, since you're like the bear hunting guy, right? Have you hunted Oregon for bears yet? Is that on your list?
I've hunted Washington.
So we're gonna break your Oregon cherry then. We're gonna pop that thing and.
Man, I'm looking forward to some Oregon bears. I mean, hopefully they got some fat on them. I'm hoping.
Not in August.
Yeah. I said it's a hope. It's more like, man, that would be like a miracle.
You could, you could find one. I mean,
yeah. Man, I'm hoping that the terrain that we're in is not like what I had in the area I was in Washington.
So it's what was it in Washington? Just brushy?
Man, it was so high that the bears, you could see them cross the scree fields, but then they would disappear into the berries or like the bushes because it was so overgrown. And we saw several bears and like one tank, but never had an opportunity at them once we got there. And we were wondering how we were going to get them out if we took them.
If you got one.
Oh yeah, no, this won't be like that. So I guess I can talk about the terrain and stuff. So you're going to be as a crow flies, you could be 40 miles from the ocean, 30 miles from the ocean, or even closer. You'll be no more than probably 1,500 feet. You'll probably be around 1,000 feet elevation. You know, if you shoot a bear, last bear I shot was 200 yards from a road, and I got him out in one trip. You know, and it took me 20 minutes to get back to the road. I mean, and that was me out of shape, taking my time. So,
but he was the Western Hunter of the Year.
So I mean, it's going to be glassing a lot of units. We can even try and set up and call during, you know, if we want to try and get wild, we can try and call one in. But you know, it's going to be mornings and evenings, and then in the middle of the day, we're going to figure out something to do and wait for the bears to come back out in the morning and in the evening. So they're going to be feeding on blackberries, blackcaps, and that's pretty much it. They're going to be all over the berries, and so it's pretty easy to figure out where they're at.
Let me tell you, my Washington hunt is the only backcountry hunt I've ever been on, and I gained weight. There was so many berries out there. There was wild raspberries and man,
we'll see some of those.
And then the huckleberries. Oh man.
Yeah.
Do you have huckleberries there in Oregon?
You know, I don't even know what a huckleberry looks like. I know what the wild raspberries look like, the black caps and the salmon berries and the blackberries, but a huckleberry, I couldn't even tell you.
It kind of looks like a blueberry. There's little bushes. Like I had them up in Montana, and like I just go out of my way looking for huckleberries.
Do they look like they're growing delicious. out of like a small tree? Like a almost like a madrone meets a rhododendron kind of tree?
I mean, it's a small. It doesn't get tall. That's for sure.
Oh, okay, like then I don't think we have very many huckleberries.
Shrub-like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little shrub. There's little leaves that come off and just kind of just underneath the leaves.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any of those.
I didn't even have to drink much water, man. It was like I was pounding it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be. We're going to see a ton of elk. We're going to see some deer. It's going to be fun. It's going to be whatever we do. It's going to be cool. And if we end up tagging out early, we can, like I said, you have the North Umpqua, which is I don't know if guys have ever heard of the North Umpqua, but people fly across the nation to come fly fish up here. I mean, it is phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
I suck at fly fishing, and I'll catch a ton of them, and you can get 20+ inch trout. We got a few browns up in here too, and just watching them hammer a dry fly is pretty sick.
Oh man.
Well, I use their leaders and stuff like there's brands of fly fishing. It's the Umpqua.
Oh really?
Yeah, so like I use their leaders and fly line on some of my stuff here in Colorado.
I cheat. I use a spinning rod with a fly bubble and a leader, so I'm not even truly fly fishing. But so outside of that, guys, I think we covered enough. If we had to put a dollar amount on the prize package, Jared, what would you say it is as it sits, and what would you expect it to get up to?
It's all the way up.
Ooh, I mean, honestly, I think
from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah, out of the gate, if I was just giving a conservative estimate, I'd say we're probably a prize package of about 7,500 to 8,000
current.
And that's with us launching it. And it will be listed. It'll be listed lower than that when we launch like tonight, because we're confirming different things right now, but as sponsors and as prize stuff comes in, we're going to be listing that. I would anticipate this league being well over $10,000.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was probably going to approach 12.
I mean, I would, like, if I had to realistically kind of just guess where we're going to end up, I think this is probably one of those things that'll be pushing the $15,000 prize package value. And what Kolby said, I mean, if you get a chance to hunt with Kolby, I mean, it's priceless. You can't put a price on that.
Yeah. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. You're going to cry while you laugh.
Do you have a poison you like to drink, Kolby?
Man, I'm not much of a drinker.
Really?
I like water.
Water?
Rain drinks.
Copy.
Well,
I'll have to get some of those for you.
No, every once in a while, maybe I might drink part of one, but Yeah, not much of a drinker.
Copy. All right. Well, I don't need the liquid courage.
I just
to have
bring
fun anyways.
I just bring the party and a positive attitude.
So we have a thing called a GOC here. You guys know what a GOC is?
No.
It's a. You guys seen the movie Half Baked?
No.
What? You never, what?
No.
Like
Chappelle.
is that like the old '90s like classic?
Yeah.
Like I mean that's like old.
You got some homework, dude.
It's
You
like
need to
high
watch Half
school.
Baked. It's a classic. And they have this guy called the GOC. And so for years, the movie's old. So for years we've had GOCs, which is acronym for Guy on Couch. And so you could be our GOC for while you're here or something, or if you wanted to sleep somewhere else. But we like when somebody gets too drunk to drive home, they're a GOC. So. But yeah, so we're gonna have fun, and like I said, it'll be like level 3, hopefully not a level 4 fire danger. So you can't, if you go out and camp out in the woods, you can't have a fire or anything like that. But you can hang out and listen to the coyotes, listen to the crickets, which is always cool. But yeah, man, it's good. It's gonna be fun.
Hey, can you have a fire pit if it's like propane, or is it just no flame?
Food fires, food like propane is legal, but no, you cannot have a fire unless it's like a controlled cooking stove kind of thing.
Okay.
I do have a round pit fire propane thing, and I wouldn't even do it when it gets so dry over here. You can hear a cricket fart. I mean, it is freaking ridiculous, dude. It is.
Well. The last
crazy.
2 years too, you guys have had such awful wildfires up in the region. It's not even, it's not even worth messing around with.
No, I mean it gets dry. I mean, you think Oregon wet and no, it gets freaking dry over here. I mean, good luck stalking a bear. I mean, you have to basically shoot it from a road or as soon as you step foot in that unit, they're going to hear you even 400 yards away. A stick the size of a pen, you can hear it crack 400 yards away. I mean, it is ridiculous.
Okay.
So
that's actually good to know. So this is a rifle hunt, not a bow hunt.
It can be a bow hunt, but the success will greatly decrease.
Okay.
So unless I can find some spots where the bears are just hitting the berries and we can just sit there. So if that's your goal, let me know ahead of time. But if you win, because we can accommodate, but your success, it will be like 10% versus probably like 90% with a rifle.
Okay, that's good to know. And give us one more idea of like if somebody's going to come out there to do this, what kind of distance, what kind of range?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if you if we can arrange for the winner to have some really cool prizes, we will get you acquainted with the rifle that you will be shooting. If we which, there's more to come there, so stay tuned. But I would anticipate 400 yards or less. That is not an issue with the guns we have available currently. I would keep it shorter than, for sure, 600, just because I don't know how good of the shooter is going to be, how competent they are. Are they going to keep their cool when they shoot a bear? Bears are probably the number one most lost animal hunted in Oregon. If not everywhere else. Bears are just they disappear and people don't find them. So
middle of the middle and forward a little. Don't hug the shoulder, boys.
So we have a lot of different theories here, and I'm on board with what you just said. Unless I have a big bore like a 300 rum or something, I'm cracking both those shoulders, and I'm putting another one in him. I mean, I'm taking the running. We call it the running gear. We're taking the running gear out. He's not getting anywhere. And then we're going to put another one in them. And a lot of times when you take the running gear out anyways, they're dying pretty quickly. So, take those lungs out, yeah. But if like that bear I shot last year, probably one of my favorite shots for angles, it was a hard quarter too, so I put it literally right at the base of the neck, and I blew the back of the other shoulder out, and it dropped immediately. I mean, it took everything out. But, Kolby hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, if you can middle of the middle and a little farther.
Say your phrase again. Middle of middle and a little forward.
Middle of the middle and forward a little.
Yeah, that's I never heard that saying. That's a bear hunter saying right there. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I've got it. We've got it on a t-shirt.
I want that t-shirt.
Can we put that t-shirt in the prize package,
yes.
Kolby?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
We can add that into the prize package because that one should become a classic for this league.
You would be shocked how much misinformation is out there when it comes to the vitals of a bear, and it's not like they changed over
it's
the last couple of years.
It's further back than a deer.
100%. I mean, I've seen people get roasted online for rabbit ears gut shooting bears, and it's like, dude, that was actually a pretty good shot. I mean, it was a little far back, but that was a pretty good shot, and the bear goes 60 yards and piles. I'm like, dude, that was a good shot, but
and even if you stay on that center line and you're far back, that bear will go down. You just can't pressure it.
Yeah.
If it's a gut shot.
Yeah. And with where we hunt, like there's a lot of guys that just say use the biggest caliber you got here and shoot it through the shoulders and it won't go. I mean, it'll roll because it's steep around here a lot, but it's kind of like shooting a turkey through the hips. It can't take off if you shoot it through the hips, which maybe. And
that's so when you say like the biggest caliber, like the biggest caliber, you're talking about like a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yes. Well, that bear, I got a video of me laying that bear up that is in the app. And it was a 330-yard shot with about a 10 to 15 mile an hour crosswind. And so I aimed right on the edge of his left side at 300 and whatever yards I just said. And I took that, I shot him perfectly right behind, took that whole backbone out, went right through his chest and dumped, and he was still alive, and I had to put another one in him. I mean, I was just, bears are tough, man. And the more I hunt them, the less chances I take. And so a lot of times we'll have two guys set up on a bear. And if the bear's running and we know he's hit good, you're putting another round in that bear. It doesn't matter. You're
just trying to get him.
You were
down
getting that bear on the
ground
in sight. That's my main. Like if I can get a bear down in sight, that eliminates my anxiety. Period. If it goes out of sight and I know I smoked him, I have a level 10 anxiety because it just happens. You lose bears,
and they don't bleed much.
They don't bleed much, and they go. And if you push them, they will go, and they will go den up somewhere under a root wad, or it just turns into a great experience into a bad experience. So that's where kind of taking the running gear out thing around here kind of come. I don't know if you've heard that, Kolby, but that's a very common train of mind here, and I totally don't disagree with it. I mean, I mean, biggest caliber. If you're using a 30 caliber or better, fantastic. I've got a 6.5 and a 243 I've killed bears with, no problem. But that 308 is the last one I killed a bear with. So it's really shot placement. Kolby hit the nail on the head already, but I mean,
and if they don't have a lot of fat, there's not much to punch through.
No. So be prepared to shoot 400 yards, and if you're not, we'll coach you through it. And I've taken enough people out, and I've missed enough animals myself that I don't get excited until it's on the ground. We have a rule around here if you call me and you have a bear on the ground, it's kind of a dick move, but if you have a bear, if you shot a bear, here's how it is. If you shot a bear, I ask, my first question is it down? Yes. Okay. Did you put your hands on it yet? No. Okay. Call me when you do, because I'm not coming out there to help you look for a bear when I have to work in the morning, because chances are if you haven't found it, you're probably not going to find it until the morning or something like that. And I know it's a dick move, but I've been on too many goose hunts. Just call me when you have it down the ground, or if you saw it go down and you can see it in the unit, call me. But that's just kind of a rule I have, because you can go on a million goose hunts. Kolby could probably agree with that, but.
And then if they never find the bear, you buy them a shirt from Bear Hunting Magazine that says middle of the middle and forward of the middle.
That's exactly right. But we're gonna use
shameless plug.
We're gonna use a good gun. We're gonna use a good round. Everything's gonna be great. We're gonna have plenty of people spotting you, and everything's gonna go good, man. I have faith, and whatever happens, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah,
lots of support.
I think we're going to have a whole lot of people join the league that have very little to no experience bear hunting. And I think by joining the league, you're going to get connected to Bear Hunting Magazine, where, you can see newsletters, see stories. You're going to have other bear hunters posting in the app. So I feel like if you are a person that, has mildly thought about bear hunting or thinks the idea of a bear hunting experience would be cool, it's like, don't waste time, jump in the league. Regardless, I think you'll learn a whole lot about bear hunting just by being involved with this community this year.
Yeah. And sorry, Kolby, what were you going to say?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of people that subscribe to the magazine that whenever they talk to us, they're like, "We never plan on going on a bear hunt, but we like it. We like the idea of it, you know." So like, you don't have to be a bear hunter to be interested in this league. And honestly, the first bear hunt you go on, like you walk up to your bear, it's gonna be like nothing else. There's not another critter like a like a black bear.
Yeah. The way the fur feels, just honestly, my favorite animal to watch and just observe is a bear.
They have more charisma in their left paw.
Yeah, more character. I mean, it's almost bad if you watch them too much because I quickly get attached. Like I start naming them, and it's like as soon as I name them, I'm like, shit, I can't kill it now.
Wait, man! If you ever go on a baited hunt, a good baited hunt with a quality hunt, you just see a bunch of bears.
Mm-hmm.
They have so much character. You're just like, yeah, I'm not shooting that one, you know? And then that's cool because, you know, you're after the more mature males and they come in and they chase all the ones you like off. And you're like, all right, you're the jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I called this one Digger one year and I kept seeing him during season and he was like a 125-pound bear. And he had a big patch of hair missing out. Like he had like pitch and the pitch got pulled out or something, but right on the top of his rump. And I'm like, I told my wife, and she doesn't hunt hardly at all. And I'm like, you want to go see a bear? Like, she's like, I don't know. I'm like, a wild bear. Like, you've never seen one in the wild, right? She's like, no. I'm like, get in the truck. Let's go look at it. And so I took her up there. Half an hour later, the bear is less than 200 yards away. Like, just feeding. He's back to digging in the same beehive as he was the day before. This is like the 5th time I've seen him. And she was over it in like 10 minutes, right? She was like, oh, cool. And then she's back on her phone. I'm like, this is so cool. Like, you know, I almost wanted to scare him off so no one else shot him. I'm like, that's probably a dick move.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're just such a special animal. And I just hope that the person that we bring, you know, can see the bears is, you know, Kolby and I see him. I know that I know he has the passion for bears and I just love them. We got too many of them, which, you know, whoever comes out, you're welcome to shoot too. I mean, it does not matter to me. I do want to let somebody know that if you're worried about the meat, or if you,
so good,
it's great. It's great. And if you're worried about bringing it home, we have a walk-in cooler Veterans Association right across the street where if you want to donate it to feed families of veterans, you can do that. So, I mean, don't worry about shooting, you know, a bear or 2 bears. You know, the meat can all go to good use or whatever. If you want to take it home with you, we can try and figure that out. But my goal is to lean on a few buddies for whoever comes over. We're going to hopefully have, you know, half a dozen, maybe 10 bears figured out, located. We know where they're going to be. We know what their habits are, and we're going to be able just to hit spots, and it's going to be boom, 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 boom. This is where they are. This is where we're going to be. We're going to know we're going to know, and we're probably going to know what bear is going to be where, and we're going to have an idea of what bear you're going to see. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. My buddies are already on board.
Hashtag send it.
Send it.
Well, the other thing that I guess we haven't said that, like, just hearing you say that, I mean, that comes about as close to like a guided hunt as you can. But to be really clear with everybody,
this is not a guided hunt.
This is a DIY fun experience. This is an over-the-counter tag that anybody can buy. And but you get the privilege of going with somebody that is passionate about bear hunting and has a lot of experience and has been successful multiple times. So that's going to be the fun thing. Yeah. I hope, like, a part of this experience too is our goal is to fly them out before the season starts, spend a day shooting, getting accustomed to the rifle, and then hopefully go out in that evening and just kind of like, hey, let's go observe a bear or two, like see if we can actually see one, get to watch it, get to observe it. So it really adds to the whole experience. And then the next day, you know,
find one. Send
it time.
Yeah.
And then after you get your first one, we're going to send you on the second one like you're Peter Pan looking for a shadow.
Right. Then you can take out the bow. Yeah. But I think Kolby might want to go fly fishing. I don't know. He got a little fired up when we mentioned fly fishing and big trout.
You know, I need all those omegas I can get.
And I tell you what, though, I am a sucker for fly fishing in August, because that is when it just seems to be like, it might not be like the peak of like any spawning season or anything like that, but there always seems to be good hatches and good activity. You can usually do a lot of good topwater stuff with a fly rod.
Yeah.
And August is usually just a fantastic month for it.
Bring it.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't mind cheating, like I said, I use a fly rod, or I use a spinning rod, a bubble, and a leader, and I'm casting out there with a fly rod, fly fishing, like I'm not legit, but I think I might have won a fly rod. I don't know if I did yet, but
true.
I might have won one, so you can use that one. I don't care. I'm still at the point of my fly fishing career where I'm tying a fly on about every third whip. I'm whipping the flies off of my back cast, so I just use a freaking spinning rod and get it done. But
Garrett, I think you need to find a little chill there.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's yeah, man. I mean, is there anything else left unsaid? You guys want to add anything before we wrap this thing up?
And I just feel like this is going to be the league of perpetual announcements. I think
it will be.
I mean, there's no way around it. We're getting ready to do a handful of podcasts. We're getting ready to write an article that'll go in the May edition of Bear Hunting Magazine. We're getting ready to, I mean, like the different sponsors, the different people that jump in. I just think this is going to be ongoing announcements from now until the time we leave for this bear hunt. Yeah. And I think whoever wins this is truly going to be an experience of a lifetime. I mean, this goes so far beyond just getting some cool gear and prize stuff. I mean, to be able to hunt with you, Garrett, Kolby from Bear Hunting Magazine, somebody from Vortex, like it's just going to be, this is going to be something really special. And I can't wait to, get to the end of this thing and figure out who's going to be going on this hunt. Cause I mean, that's going to be, it's just so exciting. Cause you realize it's not just about like getting your name drawn out of a hat. There's a lot that went into it throughout the year, and there's relationships that are built. And so, by the time this rolls around, like we're getting to hunt with a friend, and that's exciting.
Exactly right. If you win, you get to be excited because we picked you. We want to take you. And if you didn't win, it's because you suck and you didn't deserve it. I'm just kidding. But, like it's going to be, Jared hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, if you're coming on the hunt, we probably are texting all the time. We're probably talking on the phone. I'm probably sending you pictures of bears I'm seeing. I mean, we're going to keep in touch probably after the hunt. I mean, it's going to be a new friendship that are formed, and you're going to form 5 or 6 of those friendships. And who knows what that could lead to, I mean,
there will be a group chat.
It could be a group chat, God forbid you don't have the sense of humor I do. But yeah, I can go down some rabbit holes, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be very special. I know it's going to be special for me. I just hope that, with the people that we have involved in everything, my vision is that, we're all going to sing Kumbaya and it's all going to be fun, but we're going to have some fun. We're going to put some bears on the ground. And we're going to be able to post your picture on the front page of Bear Hunter Magazine or whatever Kolby thinks. Is that what's happening, Kolby? They're actually going on the cover?
TBD.
Yeah, no guarantees on that, man.
So they're going to have a
super coveted.
You're going to have a spot in Bear Hunter Magazine somewhere, probably the back page. And it's going to be really cool. And I know I'm the type of guy that Kolby's like, oh yeah, this person framed it. I am totally that phlegmatic, corny guy that is going to frame whatever goes up.
Hey, all I'm going to say is if you make it on the cover, you're technically a cover model, and I've made it on the cover before. So you guys are talking to a former cover model.
That's true. That's true.
I think I want to add.
But what month are you? Do you know it? Because you're not just a cover model. I mean, you're a month and a year. So
it's got to be August.
November, December 2018.
Oh, there you go.
No, but what I want to say is like really what this is it's us celebrating your journey. Like that's what winning this is It's a celebration of the journey and the work that you put in. So it's not like you're not going to earn this. And really what would be great is if you joined this league and then you found a new passion, and that was what got you to that point, is like the community and growing inside of your woodsmanship and your love for the outdoors. And I think it's really cool, instead of looking at like, oh, you're going to win this prize, it's like, no, we're going to celebrate your year and celebrate your journey to this thing. This is like the ultimate, like, you graduated, if you look at it like that, it's really cool. And you have every option to participate as much as you want. And this is like something that you can earn just by being like out there and about it, and also being a great person and a great, just role model for people. And you don't have to be experienced. You know, it's cooler if you're not.
Well, I mean, that's very well articulated, and hashtag just don't be a douche, But
I do have one thing. I was thinking about this because one of bear hunting magazine's kind of common phrases is guard the gate. And I know that there's actually a lot to, Kolby's wearing it on his hat right now. I know there's actually a lot to that statement because, a lot of people look at like the hunting rights that are being attacked across the country. Bear hunting is one of those things. It's like a front line attack. We just saw bear hunting go under attack in Washington, and they lost their spring bear season. Yeah. I did have to put in the terms and conditions for this league, like, hey, this is a bear hunting experience with Garrett. There is a potential, like, subject to change. Like, who knows? Right. I doubt Oregon would cross off a fall bear hunt by the time we roll around to 2023. But I'm like, yeah. We all have to be aware that we can't take this for granted, and that it is our responsibility to kind of guard the gate and be, advocates for the sport, even if it's a sport that, like, hey, you may not be a bear hunter, but like, we've got to understand, like, all of our rights as hunters are kind of under attack. And I see that with guard the gate. And I think people are going to get more familiar with that idea of guard the gate, just by participating in this league. But I did just want to make a note that we did have to put a disclaimer in there. And, there's also a disclaimer about, like, hey, there are certain states that have different limitations on hunting contests. And
which ones are those?
The ones that I'm aware of is everybody's favorite state of California.
California, man.
I mean, it might be hard for somebody to win from California. It's not an option, but we just have to, like, we'll kind of, when we get into that closing section, we'll have to just verify, hey, is this going to violate any state law? Because if you get a violation like that, it could strip you of a hunting license, and nobody would want to do, like, hey, I'm going to go on this experience and then lose my hunting license for the next 5 years. Right. So we just have to so there are a few disclaimers in the terms and conditions for this league, just to kind of keep everybody safe. Again, it's not a guided hunt. It's not with an outfitter. This is a DIY hunt that you're getting to go on. Yeah. But, we do have to make sure in everything that we're doing as outdoorsmen that we're promoting ethical hunting, and, that we look at this as like, hey, these are renewable resources, but we still have to be good stewards of all of those resources.
Absolutely. Well, Kolby, did you have anything else?
No, I mean, the thing about guard the gate, I think that it's cool what we're seeing with hunters getting involved. Like with the Washington spring bear season and them cutting it, there was the hunters really showed up and sent in messages, and they showed up to the committee meetings. There's actually one coming up this Friday morning from 8 to noon, and it's the second meeting, I think, talking about the spring bear season. And then in California, the HSUS brought up, they tried to get bear hunting banned, and the hunters really showed up, and the hunters are being really respectful, and really guarding the gate. And we see things like the Sportsman's Alliance and Blood Origins and How.org, and all of these organizations really helping hunters find a voice inside of these things. I mean, I would stick Bear Hunting Magazine in there too. And but we're not a 501c3. Like, and the Western Bear Foundation is doing great work, like Joe Condelis. So there's a lot of organizations that are coming up to really protect, the things that we love doing. And, I think Sportsman Alliance is kind of like the oldest, and they do great work. I think Brian Lynn does a great job for them. And they cover all 50 states. Like, they're fighting stuff in Virginia right now. So anyways, I think that is something that's really cool, of whenever we have some mechanism of pushback now. So we're really seeing hunters mobilize in ways that we haven't before, and it's really changing the systems to where it's not just this really smooth sailing way to get rid of things that we really value,
No,
and that deep culture inside of it.
Well, and if we can use this experience to help people, realize, hey, this is pretty damn cool, and it's threatened. It truly is threatened, and so maybe this league can help raise awareness that people need to get their asses out of their seats and actually do something. I mean, Oregon is next in line because California starts it, Washington follows, and then Oregon usually follows Washington. And so if you don't think
just look at the hounds.
Exactly. Well, 1994 is one of the early 1990s, mid 1990s was the worst 5 years in conservation, I believe, in the whole United States. I mean, that's back when the wolves came back in. Yeah. That's back when we lost hound hunting. I mean, that is a horrible era. And if you don't think that's not repeatable, we have things in Oregon right now that would literally make it illegal to hunt, to farm practice, to put your dog on a leash. There is literally laws that are trying to be passed and they're getting the signatures right now where it would literally change the way you lived your life, period. Like you could not go out and kill a cow for meat. You could not go out and breed a pig. No animal abuse whatsoever. And so, like you said, the guarding the gate is probably more important now than it ever has been, because these folks are gaining traction, and it's not science-based, it's emotion-based. And so they don't have to have the facts. They don't.
Yeah.
And so,
and a lot of times you'll find that what happens is it's just an educational thing. Like, it's really easy to paint a bad light on something that people don't understand, but to make them truly understand it is different. And, you could say a lot of these people really have the same goals as we would if they want, a population of animals to be healthy. And the thing that's not agreed upon is like the mechanism or way that you do it. There's just like a difference of understanding. And, hunters are closer to it. And there's to explain what you feel whenever you take the life of an animal is not something that you can say, oh, well, I actually really love this species and love this animal, or have high respect for it. It's something that's hard to convey if you don't have anything to compare it to. And so, it's a lot of it, like, and that's one of the things I think of whenever I'm saying guard the gate is like, a lot of times when you come to those scenarios, you would think that other person has different goals than you do. And what it is just like, you just don't agree on the way to get to that,
Yeah.
So.
Well, Jared, I want to ask you one last question. So in order to get onto the app, how do they find it? First question. Second question is, do they need to use any special promo code? I'm not, and I want to make this very clear, I'm not making a freaking penny off of any of this, and I don't want to. It is completely just because I want to take somebody bear hunting. Having said that, there is a code you can use for registering, and I don't know if it does anybody any good, but I do have an on-point code. Is there any reason that anybody would ever need to use that for the Bear League or anything?
Yeah, the code ended up getting limited by Apple. Like, it used to be in the app itself when you signed up, you could put in put in this code, and it would unlock the app. So you'd have the league pass at least for the first 30 days, which would allow you to kind of jump in, sign up for leagues, add experience, all that stuff. Apple nixed that because they want to control all kind of revenue and flow. They don't want you using like codes and stuff outside their platform. So if you want to have that where you can use a promo code, you have to go to the huntleague.com website, and there is a thing in the title bar to create an account. And if you create your account on the Hunt League website, you can enter a promo code, and then when you download the app and log in, it will unlock the league pass for you for the first 30 days.
Okay.
So you can jump in. So you don't, like, that's a scenario where you don't have to pay the $14.99 to join. You can jump in, you can add experience. It unlocks everything from the beginning. You'll lose access to be able to log for other species. But again, like, you could be in the top half just with a single species, and
yes,
you can participate in the league, because if you join during that first 30 days, which right now, if you're listening to this podcast, get online, go to huntleague.com, create your account online, and your code is just your name. It's Garrett Weaver.
Okay. I just wanted, and just so folks know, Droid isn't completely up and running yet, correct? It's iPhone.
Correct. It is not out on Android. I did send some screenshots to some people today, because I have a lot of Android users that are just begging to like, when is this going to be out? And my goal is that we'll have a first version of the Android app where somebody can at least log a hunt or log a scout by late summer, early fall. So that, because if you can at least log your experience, even if you don't have access to like the community page and the leagues, that stuff might not be built in for a little while longer, which I know that's a bummer. But if you can kind of, I don't know, if you can kind of stomach the fact that, like, all right, it's coming, and you can at least log your hunts and scouts, that will, even if there's not a leaderboard built into that first version, the leader, like, everything will be saved to the same server. The points will be calculated. Somebody that has an iPhone can still see where you stand on all of that, but you may not have the ability to join a league or post to the community until later in the fall, heading into the end of the year. So there is some disadvantages, certainly, but we're a brand new program. We're kind of baby stepping. Everything was kind of in, I would say, a late stage beta test as we were kind of finishing 2020. Yeah. We were certainly hoping to have Android out by now. We just hit kind of a couple delays and restarts. So our goal, though, is to have people at least running the application in the field this fall. And so if you're an Android guy, you can go and create an account, even if you can't log hunts. If you've got access to an iPad, if you got an old iPod sitting around, I mean, like, just grab an Apple device, that's a handheld device, and you can go in and add past historical hunts, find somebody that's got an old iPhone that they're not using, and just say, hey, do you mind if I use this, and log in. If you log into somebody's, though, just make sure you log out, before you leave that device.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what kind of loser uses a Droid? Come on. Kolby's like, I use a Droid.
Yeah.
No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He's showing up blue. That blue gold. It's all over.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think we've covered this more than sufficiently. So let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Jared, I thank you for allowing me to use your app as a vehicle, man, and being so supportive of it. And Kolby, it means a ton that Bear Hunter Magazine and you are willing to come over and film this whole thing, make it super special for the winter. I'm excited to develop a friendship with you and just see where that goes. And I'm just really I like where this is snowballing into, and I think it's gonna be really special for whoever is able to come over and hang out, and it's going to be a good time. I really can't wait. I wish it was this August, not next August in 2023. But in order to do this right, in order to give people enough time, in order to just do this as best as we can, 2023 August, someone's going bear hunting.
Yeah, but it starts April 1st. I mean, people can start logging. I mean, the journey to that hunt begins now. Yeah.
So I would say download it immediately, even if the season hasn't started yet, which is April 1st. Then get used to the app, get familiar with the app, practice with it, go, act like you're scouting or something. Just learn the app. And so when you're out, and I took me probably 2 weeks to really figure out the app. So it's not super complicated. I'm just that dumb. And so
the app does a lot. So it does take, it's like any tool, like navigating. Don't just go to the field with it for the first time. Like, I'm just going to use this Huntleague app. Yeah. Like I will tell you, like, jumping on Onyx or Base Map for a hunter is so much simpler, because you just jump on, you open it up, and it shows you where you're at on the map. And it's a map based platform.
Yeah.
Hunt League has maps. You can have offline maps. You can use those in the field. Like I use that 90% of the time in the field. You can transfer your data from Onyx into Hunt League. You can transfer your Hunt League stuff out into Onyx. So I use all those platforms for e-scouting. They work hand in glove. They work together. It's not an in place of tool. So don't expect landowner boundary. We didn't recreate Onyx. Hunt League is its own thing. Like it's a hunting journal that gives you the ability to share and compete, connect in leagues. I mean, but again, like I say, share. I think one thing that I have to just mention, I'll take at least a second to mention, is people get concerned when you say like share, because this is not a group location sharing platform. Like
you're not sharing with 50 people where your coordinates are.
Or the whole community. Like, I think some people like listen to this and they're like, you guys are talking about like sharing your experiences and all that. Like I'm a private hunter, and I'm like, perfect. Like Hunt League is for you. Like it's a private hunting journal, and you have the ability to share a hunt log. There's never anything that's shared like unless you choose to share it, and you can always choose to unshare whatever you have shared.
Right.
So there's a lot of different things. And when it comes to like sharing with a league or sharing with the community, those things those are always go with GPS not attached. So it's like, because it's never meant to be like an open share of where should I hunt. Like this isn't a podcast that we're talking about like, hey, follow us, and then you'll know exactly where we hunt, and you'll know where to come in Oregon, because this is a DIY experience. Like that ruins units. It ruins the hunting experience for everybody involved. So that's not what this app is, but it is a private hunting journal. But once you get into it and kind of explore the details of it, you'll realize, oh my gosh, this does stuff that nothing else does. I mean, there's nothing else out there that does what Hunt League does. And I'm excited to start seeing more hunters use it and connect with it.
Perfect. Well, I think that wraps up. We're an hour and a half into this thing, and it was supposed to be 40 minutes.
Yep, so, nailed it. And I appreciate everybody for listening. Go on. When you get the app, add me as a friend so I can see what you're up to. And the On Point League should be live. Today is the 9th, so it should be live almost immediately following this podcast. I can click it live right now.
Yeah. Actually, you should do that on the podcast.
Ooh, I'll do that right now.
Yeah, there could be angel voices.
Hey, promo code.
What was that?
Promo code if they go.
Hashtag send it.
Hashtag send it. There we go.
Garrett, again, your promo code is just Garrett Weaver. It's your name with a space in it. So it's your username. So it's Garrett Weaver.
Which doesn't do anybody any good. So it won't earn you any extra brownie points. Just
correct.
Lets me
it just helps you. It helps you as the user. It unlocks your account, lets you join leagues.
Yeah.
Lets you kind of get the whole experience. If you want to kind of jump your spot on the leaderboard right when you have the league pass, there's an experience tab, and you can go in and add past experience for different species.
That's what I did.
It'll help. It's humbling, isn't it, Garrett? When you first open it up and you're like, I'm an experienced bear hunter, and then you put it in, it's like, you just listed me as like greenhorn one.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know what the freaking hell I'm doing.
Yeah. Wait a second. So, I mean, the first thing we do is humble you, and then we let you build back up from there.
But it's funny because when I'm like, I put all my deer or put some of my deer and stuff, and I'm like estimating because I don't keep track of that shit, and I'm like, beginner 3. I'm like, what the hell, dude? For everything I've done, I'm a beginner 3 or whatever. But
this ain't right.
Yeah. I gotta get my rep up. But all right, guys. Well, I appreciate it, and as always, guys, I'll see you on the next one.
Okay. Thank you, Garrett, for having us on.
Thank you.